The lesson plan, a critical task for ESE 4323. What is the purpose of this critical task? First, you will design a lesson based on the Florida standards. Second, you will identify at least 3 learning outcomes, one of which will ask students to utilize a higher level thinking skill. Third, the plan will include teaching strategies for achieving each outcome, adaptations for culturally and linguistically diverse students, and students with exceptionalities. 4. The plan will also include a description of how each objective will be assessed. 5. The lesson plan must follow a template provided. Here are some questions to ask when getting started. What grade level will the lesson be designed for? What subject area or areas will the lesson target? What Florida standards are associated with the subject areas and grade levels you have selected? Keep in mind that your standards serve as outcomes. Does the district have a curriculum guide or a scope and sequence map that might inform your lesson development and the standards you choose to address? Backward design and assessment. What is backward design and what is its relationship to assessment? In Understanding by Design, Wiggins and McTeague outlined 3 stages for lesson plan design. Stage 1 is to consider your desired outcome. Stage 2, to decide what evidence you will gather from assessment. And Stage 3, the development of your learning plan. Let's look at each of these stages individually. In Stage 1, as a teacher, you're going to set the established goals. Ask, what relevant goals, which would include content standards, course or program objectives, or learning outcomes, will this lesson address? Next, consider understandings. What are the big ideas in this lesson or unit? What do you want students to understand about those big ideas? What misunderstandings might occur? Next, essential questions. What provocative questions will foster inquiry, understanding, and a transfer of learning? Last, knowledge. What key knowledge and skills will students acquire as a result? What should they eventually be able to do as a result of the unit and lessons? Stage 2, Assessment Evidence. First, performance tasks. Through what authentic performance tasks will students demonstrate their desired understandings? By what criteria will performances of understanding be judged? And what about other evidence? Through what other evidence, such as quizzes, tests, academic prompts, observations, homework, journal entries, will students demonstrate achievement of the desired results? And finally, how will students reflect upon or self-assess their learning? Stage 3, the development of the learning plan. What learning experiences and instruction will enable students to achieve the desired results? Let's consider the acronym WHERE to. How will the design help the students know where the unit is going and what is expected? How will the design help the teacher know where the students are coming from, what their prior knowledge and interests are? How will the design hook all students and hold their interest? How will it equip students, help them experience key ideas and explore the issue? How will it provide opportunities to rethink and revise their understandings and work? How will the design allow students to evaluate their work and its implications? How will the design be tailored to the different needs, interests, and abilities of learners? And finally, how will it be organized to maximize initial and sustained engagement as well as effective learning? Let's look at the process for getting started with this critical task. First, download the lesson plan template, which includes the following required components: subject area, grade, lesson duration, materials and lesson preparation, Florida standards, instructional objectives and corresponding Bloom's level of taxonomy, the prior knowledge students need, guiding questions or essential questions, the hook or anticipatory set for the lesson, a list of procedures, the closure, assessments both formative and summative, accommodations for English language learners and ESE students, and extensions for all, particularly for gifted students. Second, view the sample elementary lesson plan. Note that its original format, as found in CPALMS, is included within the assignment description. However, it has been transposed into the required lesson plan template for your review. Third, view the rubric that will be used to score the critical task. 4. After completing the lesson plan template, attach all formative and summative assessment tools that are referenced in the lesson plan. If a rubric or scoring guide is to be used, include it. And 5. Complete the objectives, procedures, and assessments alignment chart and attach it to the end of your submission. Before submitting your critical task, here are some steps to keep in mind. Ask someone to read your lesson plan for clarity. Could a substitute or a guest teacher pick up this plan and follow it without any oral explanation from you? Reread the rubric that will be used for scoring the submission. Does your submission aim for exemplary in each performance criterion? Make sure you've included all forms of assessment tools that are referenced within the lesson plan. Would a student be able to use the assessment tool based on the directions you have included? Finally, check again for the alignment of your objectives, procedures, and assessments by reviewing your objectives, procedures, and assessments alignment chart. Finally, ready for teaching, ready for uploading. Be sure to upload your submission to Canvas. If you are a degree-seeking student in a program, please be sure to also upload your submission to LiveText.